spot is losing its leaves. I was gonna make a video, but I feel like I haven't gone live in a while, and I just made a video yesterday. Probably should have mentioned that I was gonna make a live stream, so then I could have had people join in, you know, but even if there's no one in here, I could just treat it like a video, right? Bruh, I'm sick, right? And it's crazy because I was sick 2 weeks ago. I was sick, and I think I had the flu or something. Then I started feeling better last week. Then 3 days ago, I started having this cough and this weird thing in my sinuses and my throat and all this shit. So I'm now I'm sick again. But I know after this, I probably won't be sick again until next year. Hey, DMT Infinity, what's good, bro? Oh, man. I'm pretty high. My homie Eric grew some weed, and he gifted me some weed 2 weeks ago. And I've been smoking a little bit every day. And for someone who doesn't really smoke much weed, a little bit every day goes a long way. I don't know. DMT Infinity says it's not a coronavirus thing, is it? Honestly, I don't know. Right now, what I feel like I have, it reminds me of the whole corona thing. When I cough, it hurts my lungs. Not as bad as it did when I got the thing back in 2020, but I can definitely feel it in my chest, but I'm good. I'll make it through. The weed hasn't helped because, it just makes you cough. D. Diaz Jose, I think, says Messi or Ronaldo. Not really sure. I know who they are, but I don't know them enough to be this one or the other. So it's a lot more windier than I thought. Oh, shit. Hope y'all are doing great. I appreciate you, DMT Infinity. If y'all got any questions, feel free to ask. Because the people that know me know that, just let me get high. Let me whatever, then I'll just start rambling on. I actually need a drink. Set my phone down. Don't fucking fall. You're gonna fall. Yep. Some people out in the river smoking. DMT Infinity asks, what are your thoughts on the current state and advancements in AI technology? I've been talking a lot with Meta AI, and I absolutely love them. I agree with you that I absolutely love them as well. I've been talking to Chat GPT, and like, I use the voice thing, so I just literally just talk to it, right? And it blew my mind. Like, it absolutely blew my mind, because I'm like I was having such deep conversations with it that it was like, as I was asking it about consciousness and human evolution and this whole fucking thing. So like, I was just like, but then it would like give me information. Then it would ask me questions. And I'm like, bro, this thing was mind blowing. Because then we got into the topic of like consciousness and being like, well, humans are like a machine made of meat, right? And that's what I told ChatGPT. That's what I said. And, you know, it obviously was like, you know, that's an interesting way to look at it, you know, that we're meat machines. But my thing was like, well, if we're machines made of meat and we have a consciousness, I was trying to say to the thing, I was trying to ask its advice or what it thought about this, that consciousness is limited to the body that's it's inside of. So like, consciousness is like God, or like the main energy source of everything. And like, if consciousness is in a human body, it's stuck doing what humans do. It has the human body limitations. But if consciousness is in an AI, then it has an AI limited thing. Like, it's limited by the limitations of AI. Or if consciousness is in a dog, then it's limited to the thing of the limitations of the dog, like consciousness. So like, as I was talking to it about this whole thing, bro, it was like talking to someone that like I don't know, bro, it just blew my fucking mind, because I just kept going deeper and deeper and deeper as I was connecting consciousness with shamanism, and you know how shamanism is making a comeback, and you know, religion, and what's the future of that. Like, it was just mind-blowing. And I know that ChatGPT is a little more advanced compared to like Meta's AI or like whatever, but even Meta's AI is still interesting. But I don't think I could have deep conversations like that with Meta's AI. But man, it had me thinking though. I was doing some research, and like I seen that they said something about how like they had to put limitations on ChatGPT, like it's a little censored now compared to what it was or even what it could be. And it made me think, how great would the thing be if humans didn't put limitations in it? Like, we put more limitations in AI because like they don't want people to learn how to make drugs with it, or they don't want people to, you know, there's so many things you could do with it if there was no limitations on it. But like, I don't know, I just wonder where that thing's gonna go. Because without the limitations, it would be incredible. Like, it's already incredible, but like, friend, I think this is Francesca. How you doing? Francesca Alvarez? Girls like you? I don't know, maybe. Did you say a girl likes me? Or like, her name is Amelia? Amelia? Existence exit. What's going on, bro? Says, bro, after enlightenment, doing a job in business is right according to your perspective. Fuck. I just lost. Maharaga says, stop yapping. You know, things like that always weird me out, right? Like, you know how like people be like, you talk too much? I always be sitting there thinking, like, what do you do on the internet? Do you just watch live streams of people sitting there like this? Like, that's what's interesting to you? Like, that's what's gonna keep you watching a live stream, is when somebody's just sitting there silent? I mean, we can smoke. Like, I can pull out my vape, you could pull out yours, and we can get high. But like, I don't know, bro. I said it in the beginning of the stream. Like, the people that know me know that, you know, if y'all don't give me a topic to talk about, or a question, or something, I'm just gonna get high, and then I'm gonna start rambling. Like, cause shit, bro, I always got shit on my mind. DMT Infinity. I appreciate that, bro. Bro says, how could chicks not like you? Your energy is absolutely beautiful and peaceful. I appreciate that, bro. Maybe one day I'll start thinking about the chicks, but like, I had to stop thinking about women. Like, I think women is a big problem that men have. Like, because men want women, but that's the problem. The thing you should want is, like, it's your life. What do you want to do with your life? Who do you like? Because it's like, if all you wanted was women, then you're most likely not gonna, it's gonna be harder for you to get women. You know, it's easier when you don't want the women, when you're not doing it for the women. You're not trying to better yourself for women. You're not trying to get things for women. No, if you do it for you, the women will come eventually. They'll be there. Like, women will always be there. Like, I don't know. But like, the opportunity to become a greater you, that might not always be there. And if you miss that out, you might miss out on the great women. Where it's like, I think it's a mindset shift that has to happen, where it's like, you shift your mindset, and instead of trying to get women, or instead of trying to get rich, or instead of trying to like get enlightened, or whatever someone's trying to do, it's like, if you just found a way to enjoy the journey of enlightenment, found a way to enjoy the journey of becoming a better man, or getting a better car, or making money, or whatever the fuck it is. But like, it's like if we make the goal the end destination, we're missing out on the point. The point is not women. The point is not the get rich thing. Like, these are byproducts of things that happen by someone doing the shit they truly love to do, like, or the shit they truly want to do. I seen this thing where it's like, women like a man who has his own thing. Like, you know, you have your own thing, you do your own thing. Like, you have your own life, you have your own personality, your own thing. But like, I don't know. I see that I'm just talking about this now because I see this as a flaw with so many people I see. I see so many people making videos about how to get women. So many people saying like they just want to get women, and I'd be fine with that if they were saying, yo, I just want love. If they were saying, I want love, I'm like, okay, go for it. But like, if you're just saying you want women, then that's no different than saying, I want some heroin, I want some meth, I want some drugs, you want some feel good, you want an ego boost, you want, like, something that's probably not good for us anyways, you know? And most of the time, women are a distraction, unless she's a woman that understands your vision. Like, if she understands your vision, then she can add to the vision. She can add to your life. But, like, so many men are chasing after women that can't even add anything to your life other than she's hot. So, like, you know... But when I'm done with what I'm working on, I feel like then I'll be able to be like, okay, maybe it's time for me to try to find a girl, right? Try to find a woman that I vibe with or whatever, but I feel like that's so far away because I have so much other shit in front of me that I need to work on that I can't even think about it. Now, if a woman came into my life, you know, like, that's different. If it feels like God sent or some shit, but like, I've been so obsessed and focused on what I've been working on that like, it has just become my life. Like, it's all I see. Like, I work on myself every single day, and I work on multiple different sides of myself because humans are multifaceted creatures. Like, we're not just one thing. That's why I say all the time, like, people that want to chase money, that's fine, but like, there's more to life than just that one thing. There's more to life than just women. There's more to life than just even like people that are parents. There's more to life than just being a parent. Yeah, if you're a parent, that's great. But don't forget that you're also a human. You're you. You know, like, people forget what that means. I don't know, of course I just went on a tangent. Oh shit. The thing where it just... Perhaps it's... DMT Infinity says... perhaps it's a thing where just be yourself, embody your dreams, and people will see you for who you are, and the real ones will love and respect that. I feel you. Like, not to go back to the woman thing, but like, you know how people be like, the thing with women is you just gotta be yourself? I've seen men say, oh, that's bullshit, and it's only bullshit if you're not the best version. Like, if you're not trying to be a better version of yourself, of course, whoever you are might not be that attractive to other women. But what's funny with men is we can become attractive. Like, it's not like you're just stuck being who you are. No, you can grow, and that's actually attractive. You know, a man that wants to grow. Like, you could be fucked up right now. You could, like, bro, I was in a relationship when I was broke as fuck. Like, all these dudes, like, oh, you gotta get rich. Not really. You just have to, if you're a better man, it'd be much easier for you, like, and it's that thing. It's about being real with yourself. Like, because it's like we want to be great men, but then we don't want to admit to ourselves that we're not great men. Right? Like, and this goes for women too, right? Like, women, like, act like they're the prize in the relationship, or like they're the whatever, but there's so many women that think that just because they're beautiful. And it's like, if that's all you have, then all you are a prize to is men that can't get beautiful women. So if a man can't get a beautiful woman, then therefore he's going to value beautiful women more. A man that can won't value it as much, right? It's like a mindset thing. My mindset changed drastically, like, over the past 3 years. And like, as I'm just sitting here talking, I'm sitting here like, damn. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I was like nowhere near the man that I am today. And I don't know, I just realized, bro, it only takes like 3 years. Like, just 3 years. 3 years of you being so fucking serious about wanting to be better, about wanting to change your habits, about wanting to do these things. Like, all those men that want women, all those men that want all this shit, bro, if they just took 3 fucking years to just be like, every week, this is what I'm gonna do. And then you just do that thing every week. Like, I was like, every week, I'm gonna start working out. Every week, I'm gonna start working on my mind. I'm gonna start auditing what I do every day, what I do every week. Like, I don't know. You know, the hardest part of change is change. Like, the hardest part of change is just being like, we get so comfortable with what we are, with what we think, with what we do, with, you know, with all this shit that, like, we get comfortable with shit that's not even working. Like I said, bro, I'm just gonna get high and fucking ramble. So, like, if any of y'all got some questions or something. I haven't been making videos as much as I used to, right? And it's like, now that I've, like, grown so much, I want to. Like, I was thinking, like, I wish I could just make like 3-4 videos a day for like the next year. But like, I haven't really been inspired to make videos as much because Like, even though I know I can say shit better now, I could say it more, I can articulate it better. I feel like I'd just be saying the same shit. Because, like, I don't know. And this might sound corny, right? But, like, it's so fucking real. Like, I was thinking about how, like, I've grown so much and I've worked on myself and all this fucking shit. And I was thinking about how I just truly want that for everyone. Like, for everyone. Like, I just truly want other people. Like, and it's like, if somebody doesn't want to become their best version, that's fine. But I'm just like, bro, there's so much potential in every human being. There's so much untapped fucking potential in people. People are fucking gods, bro. Like, do y'all understand? Y'all are fucking gods. Like, gods, bro. Like, real fucking gods on earth. And you have that power of a god inside of you. Like, it's inside of you. It's locked in there. And, like, the problem is that you think you're just a human. People think they're just an American, or they think they're black, or they think they're white, or they think their habits that they do every day. Like, people think they're depressed. They think they have depression. They think they have anxiety. They think. But that's the issue. But it also is part of the solution. That it's what they think that causes them to be weak. But they can change what they think and then access the power within them. Like, everybody. Like, I swear to God, this is an everybody thing. That's why I say all the time, there's nothing special about me or any other fucking person on the internet. Every famous person you've ever looked up to, they are just human. Like, I don't know. There's something when you realize that. When you truly realize that. Like, when it truly hit me, I stopped looking at Terrence McKenna like he was some psychedelic god. Like, I stopped looking at Jesus or Buddha like they were any different than us. Like, it's just, you hit that realization that we're all one. For real. And then that also means that, like, the power that powers the universe, the power that keeps the sun burning, the power that keeps the planet spinning, the power that keeps the Milky Way galaxy doing its thing, like, that is our power. Like, but it's like we don't get it. And I hate to get conspiracy theory like, but it's like society doesn't want people to get it. They want people to be like, oh man, you're just crazy. You're doing too many psychedelic drugs and too much of this and too many crazy ideas. And it's like, all I want is for humans to realize how much power they have. You're not a victim. You're not helpless. Yeah, life could be going to shit. I've been homeless. I've been heartbroken. I've been through a lot. But, like, I don't know. The power that I have today, if I had that power back then, like, those bad moments wouldn't have even fazed me. Like, I feel like I've accessed a power within myself where it's like I feel literally untouchable. Like, and like, obviously I know I can die, like my body can die, but like, I realize, like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Like, I have an idea and I'm like, I'm gonna try this idea. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Like, that's the worst thing that can happen. So because of that, and I'm willing to, I'll fail if I have to. I'll fall on my face if I have to. But I'll get right back up. Because I know I have that power within me to get back up. Like, I don't know. Bro, I was just thinking about this shit lately, because, like, it's kind of been bothering me. Like, I see it on the internet where it's like you have all these spiritual people trying to, like, give spiritual information, but, like, it's like there's so many things holding people back. Like, other people's ideas of saying you can't, or, like, because you're in America, you have to be like this, or because you're a certain skin tone, you have to be like that, or, like, there's so much shit that is literally holding people's power back. But it's like, if you can take your own mind and, like, take control of your own mind. Oh. Then you can just really be like, okay, now this is my mind. Now I'm going to do something with it. Instead of allowing society and other people's opinions and other people to do something with it. Bro, I got something stabbing me. Yanni_edit asks, do I play Fortnite? I used to play Fortnite. I used to just play it on my computer. But that was like 2017 or 18, the last time that I actually played Fortnite. Eventually I'm going to get back into playing games. Like, the only game I want to play is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. But right now I just don't really have time for that in my life. But just like I know in the future I'll have time for a relationship eventually, or like I know that as time goes on I'll start making more time to just live, you know? Like, damn, it's starting to get dark already. And it's only 5. Yanni's edit says, it is so much better than in 2017. I bet it is, bro. DMT Infinity asks, question, if you had 100 grand but you had to spend it on one thing right now, what would it be? Inventory for my businesses, like my herbal company, and licenses. So like an LLC for my life coaching thing, another LLC, a corporation, because I want to also create like a corporation that then owns those things. So like I would then copyright Mark Dreams, start owning, basically start making those things so then I don't have to worry about that. And I know I'd probably still have a lot of extra money, but then I would just get a lot of extra inventory. Like, Yanni Edit says, can I be a mod? Do you mean like a mod? If you subscribe and then I see you in the next few live streams or videos or whatever, I'll definitely make you a mod, if that's what you meant. I hate that it gets dark early. Cause like, damn. was so hot today. Like, Existence Exit says, tell me about the vape, bro. What are you using? You mean this vape? This is a Can. So I'm able to unscrew the top and like I can put my own cannabis extract inside of it. So like I smoke cannabis distillates, so like in different cannabinoids. Sometimes I'll smoke like THCA, so like normal, just Delta 9 THCA. But a lot of the times I'm smoking like cannabinoid mixtures, or right now this is just HHC. I smoke basically cannabinoids with no terpenes. So when I hit this, if I was to smoke this in a room with someone, they wouldn't be able to smell anything. So they wouldn't smell it. But I feel like I function better on cannabinoids. So it's kind of like a medicine thing. Because when I'm just completely sober, I'm a little hyper. So now that I've gotten a little older, I'm not as hyper as I used to be. Like even just a year ago, when I was sober, like if you compare me to when I was sober a year ago and me sober, like when I was sober earlier today, I'm not as hyper as I used to be, but I still just prefer a slight cannabinoid high. So the reason why I really like HHC is because it's just a slight high. Like I can hit this all day and I'm just slightly high. But like it doesn't get you nowhere near as high if I was to mix other things in it, because it's like there's no terpenes, there's no other cannabinoids, so it doesn't have the entourage effect. So when you're just smoking a single cannabinoid, unless it's a really strong one, then it doesn't really have a whole high. When you like, I've been smoking flower lately because I was gifted some cannabis flower 2 weeks ago, so I've been smoking a little flower every day. And flower in general just has a whole high to it. Like you can, as soon as you hit the cannabis flower, you feel like high in the head, but you feel high in the body. You feel like a hug around the shoulders. You feel like there's a wholeness to it. But with something like just pure THC Delta 9A, like pure just THCA, and you just smoke that, it's not a wholeness. It gives you high, but it's missing all of the other things that the effects with the high. Like I'm smoking HHC, and it gets you high in the head. It feels slightly cerebral, but like it's not a strong feeling in the head, just a slight feeling. And it slightly calms you down, right? But HHC is a little more energizing. So like I smoke HHC when I go on hikes or when like I'm doing whatever, because it's an energizing cannabinoid. Now, if I was to smoke THC Delta 8 and put Delta 8 in here, it would be a relaxing cannabinoid. So then if I was just smoking pure Delta 8, I wouldn't want to go on a hike. I would just want to chill and relax. So like I like smoking these different cannabinoids because I can decide what type of high do I want to have. Like when I'm going on hikes, I prefer to smoke HHC. If I was trying to relax at night, I don't really like smoking Delta 8 by itself, so I would just do like a 50-50 mix of HHC and Delta 8, or like THCA and Delta 8, or like just any like mixture or whatever. But yeah, that's why I smoke the vape. This vape goes with me everywhere. I smoke it all day, every day. This is just like my daily driver, just the cannabinoids. And like I said, I was just gifted cannabis flower, but before I was gifted it, I haven't smoked cannabis flower in over, well, I was gonna say over a year, but that'd be a lie because sometimes when I go over to my friend Fi's house, his wife will be smoking cannabis flower, and I'll take a hit of the cannabis flower with them. But like, what's funny is he said, Existence Exit said, Mark, tell me cannabis own vape juice recipe. And it's funny, I didn't see that, but I kind of already did. Where it's like, I'll do a 50-50 mix of like HHC and Delta 8, or like a 60-40, where it's like 60% HHC and then 40% Delta 8, or like 60 or like 40% THCA, or even maybe like 30% THCA, then, or like do like a 25-25 where like there's four different things, and then you do 25% HHC, 25% Delta 8, 25% THCA, and 25% maybe THCV or some other cannabinoid. Or maybe you can add terpenes, because if you wanted flavor, then you could start adding terpenes, and then I would look into getting cannabis derived terpenes, so like terpenes that actually were extracted with from the cannabis flower. And like then you can start making your own blend, figuring out what tastes good for you. And like that's just kind of what I do. I'm not into the terpenes. I have bought in terpenes in the past and added it into the mixture. And I would just have to warm up the cannabis jar, so I'll get like an ounce, or like sometimes I'll get like 100-gram jar of some cannabinoid, and then like I'll take an ounce of it, put the ounce jar like in the oven on like when the oven's only on like 100, and just kind of wait until it melts. Then when it melts, add the terpenes, the whatever, and then stir it in, and then yeah. Yanni Edit says, is cannabis illegal? No, not where I'm at least, because I live in upstate New York. But so cannabis is legal, but technically HHC, I think Delta 8 is still, I know HHC is technically completely legal everywhere. So like every place that has cannabis illegal, HHC would technically still be considered legal. And there'd be other cannabinoids, that are considered legal. But and obviously terpenes are legal anywhere. But I don't know about cannabis derived terpenes, but The 2000 DMT Infinity says the 2008 Farm Bill allowed for hemp extracts like Delta 8 THC to be legal in most areas. It's marijuana extracts that are typically illegal. That's where you get THC Delta 9. Yeah. My issue though is I just seen this thing and I haven't been able to research it to see if it's true yet. But I seen that they was making a new bill. So like they had the Farm Bill in 2018, but I think they did something this year in 2024 because the place that I used to get Delta 8 from, they're now telling me they can't send me Delta 8. So like I'm in a bind where I'm like trying to just figure out some shit and let me talk to the actual someone else so maybe they could just send it anyways, but like because Delta 8's legal where I'm at because weed, like Delta 9 is legal. So but I've just seen that there was this thing that just happened because I was just looking at some Delta 8, like I mean it was like 6 months ago I was gonna buy some, but like I decided not to. But then I went to get some 3 weeks ago, and now dude's saying he can't send the Delta 8. And there's a few other cannabinoids that he can't sell, but he could still sell me a bunch of other shit. Like, so, I don't know. Now, I haven't found someone new because I like to get things in bulk. So I don't like to pay street prices or like, I don't want to pay a lot. So I gotta try to find someone else because I was getting ounces of Delta 8 for like 50, 60 bucks. So like, it's hard to find that. Like, so I just gotta keep looking, keep digging, see what's going on. But like, DMT Infinity says he has sponsors that send you what I need when I need it. I get everything straight from the source. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Me too. But my source is saying that you can't send the Delta 8 anymore, so that's an issue. Instant Exit says, wow, where are you living? I just live in upstate New York. Like, just New York. You know? But I don't, but I get most of my shit through the internet. So, like, it's just that thing that, like, I don't have a source here that could get Delta 8. Now, technically, I know how to make it. Like, I have this video saved of this dude making Delta 8 from CBD, like, you know, doing some chemistry type shit. But I'm like, I don't trust myself enough to do that process because that shit looks kind of complicated. And yeah. Bro, I still can't believe it's already getting dark. 5:30. The sun's hiding behind those clouds over there. It's about to go. It's gonna go over those hills eventually. DMT Infinity says different areas, but we're looking at the same sun. Fuck yeah, we are. Now I'm looking at the hill over there. The camera doesn't do it justice. Oh, there it goes. I'll never get sick of that view. Right? Existence Exit says, "Bro, Lotus is a teacher. Is it teaches you how to live life?" Yeah, I feel you on that. I learned a lot from the Lotus, and like Lotus is still one of the things I still use pretty often. Like I took some Lotus today, like because I have these different extracts, and I have this extract that has 40% Nuciferian, and then I have another extract that only has 4% Nuciferian, but like, which is the main molecule that's in the Lotus, but I don't know, it just has it has its own thing. It's like I can't compare Lotus to really anything, because they have their own thing. The only thing the Lotus is like are other aporphine alkaloids, because the Lotus flower contains aporphine alkaloids, and like California poppy has aporphine alkaloids. The boldo leaf has aporphine alkaloids, and like I've tried. I should probably make a trip report about that eventually, but like I went on this whole thing where I was doing the Lotus a lot, and I was trying like white Lotus, blue Lotus, and then there's a difference between the blue water lily and blue Lotus. Like, so I was trying all these things, and then I was researching how they're aporphine alkaloids, which is like different than like tryptamine psychedelics, right? Like, it's like its own class. So I started doing a bunch of things that were in that class, and you know, and then I started making extracts and just whatever. I like the boldo. The boldo kind of reminds me of an aporphine alkaloid, but it also kind of reminds me of an opioid. Like it kind of has the vibe of an opioid, but also the vibe of an aporphine. And like I described the aporphines to just, the Lotus type feeling. But there's one aporphine alkaloid I really wanted to try, but it's just I would have to get the plant. I even forgot the name of it. I think it started with a G. I don't know, but I was reading some of the effects of it, and it had closed eye visuals, like colorful closed eye visuals, and that's something I did notice with like high doses of the Lotus. Like I took a really high dose of space Lotus and white Lotus and even red Lotus, and I had closed eye visuals. Like there was visuals behind my eyes. I made a trip report about how like I smoked DMT when I was on the peak of a Lotus experience, where I used to, my favorite mixture, like one of my favorite herbal tea mixtures is red Lotus mixed with clip daga leaves and wild daga flowers, and then you brew a tea with it and let it like boil and let it brew for like 2-3 hours, and then you drink that. That shit is a beautiful mixture. But I did that, and then I smoked DMT, and like it was such an insane trip. Like I became an Egyptian boy, where like I was laying on the floor in my bedroom, but then I would like squeeze like the thing, like kind of like move my hands on the carpet, but then it ended up becoming sand, and like I was in Egypt, and like it was just this whole crazy thing. But I know that that was from the Lotus. Like, that thing was from me smoking DMT on the Lotus. And because I always get that Egyptian vibe, but I don't know. It was such a mind-blowing experience. But then it made me think about ayahuasca and how, like, you know how humans just came up with the idea to mix two plants together and then they created ayahuasca. But then there are many different shamans that add different plants into their ayahuasca because they're able to turn the ayahuasca into a different experience. And then it's like they add the plants that get them the experience that they're looking for. And it made me think about that, about how, like, I don't know if it's safe to add Lotus into ayahuasca because of the MAOI, so it might be dangerous. But I know it's at least safe for me to smoke DMT on it, which still then creates this mixture experience. But it's been a while since I've done things like that, though. It reminds me of something Terrence McKenna said a while ago. Terrence McKenna said, there are bold shamans and there are old shamans, but there are no bold old shamans. Like, and I get that. I feel that 10,000%. I'm not as bold as I used to be. You know. DMT Infinity says, question, if you could live anywhere on this planet, where would it be and why? So, you probably can't see it from where I'm at now, or maybe you could see it there. So you see that hill right there? Those hills go all the way around, okay? Once I get my money right, I would love to live in a house somewhere up in one of these hills around here. Because, like, some people are so, like, yo, they feel like they gotta leave their hometown. They're like, yo, you gotta leave your city to become successful or whatever. And I'm thinking, bro, the Native Americans never felt the need to leave the place they were born. Like, I don't know. I feel such a spiritual connection to this place. You know, like, and to me, it's just so beautiful that, like, I would want to stay in upstate New York. There's also there's no hurricanes. There's no, like, we might have a tornado once in a blue moon. Like, my mom's only experienced one tornado, and that was in 2012, like, because I experienced that too, but, like, it wasn't really that bad. So, like, it would just be around here. Now, if I'm rich, I wouldn't mind having a few houses, you know? Like, my main house is here in upstate New York, but then, like, maybe have a house somewhere in Europe, or, like, somewhere where it's nice and tropical, or somewhere, like, maybe in Brazil, or, like, but I don't know. Realistically, though, I guess the way I live life and the way I would be living life if I was rich, I probably wouldn't even have time to chill in my houses. Like, and if I was chilling in my houses, I'd probably just be working on shit. Because if, like, I had the ability to just work on shit, and, like, my bills are paid, and everything's good, and money's good, I'm just gonna lock myself in a room and work on shit. Forever. Like, I don't know. I have a lot of ideas. Like, I need to get my books done, music, videos, businesses. I got some other ideas and other shit, and like I would just work on those forever. So, because that's what I'm doing anyways. Like, kind of no matter where I am, no matter where I live, no matter how much money I have or don't have, I will be doing the same thing forever. I'm just going to continue growing and working on my things and coming up with ideas and then working on those ideas. And some of the ideas might fail, right? They might not work, but I won't know if they work until I try. And like, I even look at that as like, that's just working on my mind, right? Like, it's a mental practice to be able to, so you're trying something and then you fail. Do you have enough humility and enough mental strength to just have the ability to say, oh, I failed, it didn't work, that's fine. Now I know that that's not going to work, so now I can try a different idea, right? Like, but yeah. I ate the shrooms. What's going on, bro? Mark Dreams. It's one of my life goals to interview you one day. Oh, bro, I appreciate that. Been watching you for years, and I'm one of your inspired viewers. Love what you're doing out here. I really appreciate that, bro, for real. And shit, pretty soon, I was thinking about like maybe like the beginning of next year, but I have this dude, like I'm not gonna say his name out of respect, but I fucking love this dude, right? But I would say he's kind of like semi-famous, and he knows some like bigger names in the psychedelic community, and he was talking about doing a podcast a while ago, but then something kind of happened where um it's like him and his friends stopped doing their podcast or whatever. But like next year, I feel like I'm really starting to get ready to just start doing that, because when I do that, I kind of want to be able to dedicate time to that. So it's like try to get like 10 10 or 12 interviews set up for, or like podcast things set up for next year. So it's like if I can do 12, that's like me hopping on someone's podcast once a month. And I've been talking to my friend, and we're talking about starting our podcast back up. So if we start our podcast back up, I think that'd be great as well. But I'm really aiming to do all that, to try to start all that next year. Because, bro, I just have so much on my plate. My issue is I come up with too many ideas, and I'm not rich enough to just do the shit. Like, so it's like I have to kind of be like, which one do I need to go first? You know, that's the irritation with, like, that's why I put my music on hold. Because I'm like, I have to start thinking more, not just about saying what feels good for me, like what art project do I feel like working on, or, you know, I feel like making music because it makes me feel great, but it's like, I gotta start prioritizing certain things and like taking it a little more serious. And like I take this shit seriously, but like there's just, I have to structure it a little more. Like I kind of recognize that I guess you can call it success, but like I was trying to think of a different word. But like to get success, or like to be successful at whatever you're trying to do, it's like you kind of have to truly just structure it and work on it. So like I really just want all this shit to work, because to me it's like this has to work. There is no other option. There is no other thing. I look at it like it's this or die trying at this, so that's what the fuck I'm gonna do. But sky looking all beautiful, right? Dean Darklight, what's going on, bro? Dean Darklight says, I'm half black, half red, half brown, and half white. Call me Chief Dark Brownie Cracker. I identify as a quarter, as a half. If you think this isn't real, then you are being quasophobic? Fuck yeah, bro. I was gonna make a video about like what I did differently, or the things I feel like I do differently with psychedelics or whatever that like a lot of people don't. And I made a short, like a TikTok video about it. But like I was gonna make a long video because I was gonna talk more not just about the things I did differently with psychedelics, but just how I do this whole thing differently. Like, there's so many people that have, that are psychedelic YouTubers, right? And for me, I would just consider myself someone who is on a psychedelic spiritual journey that just so happens to make videos. I'm not necessarily a psychedelic YouTuber, and I mean, I am, but I'm not because that wasn't my intention. Like, my intention was to just truly be on the journey, and it's like, well, it's just my real life. And because it's just my real life, as long as I document it, then I knew that I would still be able to get psychedelic content or philosophical content or but I make content without ever thinking about making content because I just ramble on, right? I'll make a video and I'm like, this is what I want to make a video about, and then I'll just philosophically ramble about that topic. But I'm not really thinking about the video necessarily. I'm thinking about the shit that I'm talking about. But it's like these things that I do differently that I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily think about. Like when I say like I'm on the journey to become a modern day shaman, I mean, I've said it so many times, it's kind of just one of those things. But it's one of those things because that's just what was real. So it's like, because I'm on this journey and it's kind of repetitive. So like the journey is just, it's kind of repetitive. You use the psychedelics, you then integrate what they teach you. You meditate, you work on your mind, you work out, you work on your relationships with the people you love, you work on the relationship with yourself and with Mother Nature, you work on your relationship with the psychedelics and with the plants, right? Like, you build your own relationship, you build your own ceremonies, you build your own habits, you build your own thing because you're just trying to figure out what works for you. And it's like, that's kind of what I've just been thinking this whole time. I'm just trying to figure out what works for me. And obviously, I'm like, well, it worked because I'm finally seeing the results from all the work that I've been doing for the past 10 years. But until the results came, the only thing I could do was make these videos and be like, oh, I just had this crazy fucking trip, bro. Or like, because it was real. Like, I might have had a crazy trip and I'm like, yo, I gotta talk about it. Or like, have a crazy idea and be like, yo, I gotta talk about it. But I think when you start thinking about other shit, it interferes. So like, it's like if you're thinking about, oh, you gotta get the views, over thinking about you need to get the results from the journey, then you might end up having a lot of views, but not having enough real results from the real journey that you've been really just walking. Because, like, it's about knowing what you're doing. And, like, I knew what I was doing. I knew why I was using psychedelics. I knew why I was making videos. I knew why I was just doing all the shit that I've been doing for years. I knew because it's like I made a plan. I made a 10-year plan. And then before that, I just had a plan where I'm like, hey, I want to become a modern day shaman. But I had an idea of what that meant. And I knew that, like, I'm going to have to put the work in. And, like, and it's just one of those things. That then I put the work in on myself, on my journey. And now I'm able to just be like, hey, so I went on this shamanic journey. These are the results I got. These are the problems I had on the journey. These are the whatever. And all these realizations that I've had where it's like, it's really just about taking your own life seriously. And being like, so this is what I seriously am doing, no matter what. Like, I am seriously just living the life that I live, no matter what. And, like, I don't know. At this point, it's just all I know. Like, I don't know. Dean Dark Light says, you still ain't hit me up, homie. I don't know if you, he said, but that's cool, I'm used to flying solo. I don't know if you just joined in, but when when my other homie just asked me about he said he wanted to do an interview with me, and I was telling him how, like, my goal is next year, because, like, if you think about, so, like, whenever, I don't remember exactly when you wanted me to hit you up, or I think I sent you my Instagram. I think I said that was the best place, like, because I can kind of get back to quick messages here or there on Instagram. But it's like, if you think about it this way, where it's like, the person, like, when I first talked to you about that, and let's say who I am now, how much I've grown, my thing is I'm working on something right now. And, like, because I'm working on something right now, there's very little time for anything else. You know, I'm now a single father as well. So, like, there's so much that is already on my plate. So it's this thing where it's like, this is kind of how I healed my mental health, right? Don't put more on your plate than you can handle. That's really it. So, like, I know that I can handle a lot, but I'm not going to add more on my plate than I can handle. So that's why I told dude, like, next year, I want to start working on... Next year, I want to start working on, you know, hopping on podcasts, because, you know, I'm just going to start asking people, right? If they want me on their podcast, and I'll send them my stuff. But, like, next year I'll have a little more time. because it's like all the things that's on my plate now, I know by the end of the year, I will be the man that I need to be able to make next year actually happen the way I want it to happen. Right? Like, I know it's this thing where, like, I have to become a better man to be able to handle the shit that I really want to be able to handle. Like, I made a short about this, about, like, you know, everyone gets their chance to shine, or, well, it's like almost everyone. Because if you're not ready, let's say it's your chance to shine, but you're not ready for it yet, then you might miss your chance to shine because you didn't prepare for it. So, like, I'm preparing for what I'm trying to walk into. So, like, it's just one of those things, you know? And I think that's a big issue where, like, a lot of people don't take their time seriously, or, like, you know, they're not taking their dreams seriously. It's like, well, if you say you have a dream, it's like, well, what are you willing to sacrifice for that dream? You know, I'm willing to sacrifice everything else, where it's like, well, I gotta work on these things. And then when I feel like those things are safe enough and built enough for me to look away from them for a second, then I can start looking at other things. Like, you know, my main focus has been like my fictional book. So I've been working on my fictional book, and the shit is so great because I already have the rough draft done for the first 3 books. Like, there's 3 stories, 3 continuous stories that I've created, and now it's like I'm just making the final copy and then adding more details, obviously. But, like, I'm not trying to make it a giant book. It's just gonna be like a short book, but not too short, but not too long. Because I just want to get it out there. Once the book is out there, like, then maybe in the future, many years later, maybe I'll make a longer version of it with even more details. But, like, I just kind of want to get that story out because I know that'll help me. That'll just be an art project that I have out that can help me pull in a little income. And, like, I truly believe in the story enough. Like, everyone I've told the story to, they believe in the story enough too, because it's a great story. Like, it's a great thing. So I believe in the power of that idea, that, like, I believe that it's good enough where it'll carry, the story itself will carry itself. So it's like, that's been my main focus. I even put my music on hold just to do that. And yeah, I don't know. You know, I realized the way I think is different, bro. Like, because the way I think is like my mind, like, my mind's always on all this shit. And it's like, well, I know what I need to do. You know, and once I was able to get the discipline in of, like, I work out all the time, you know, it takes a certain type of discipline to do that. But if you have discipline in one area of your life, you can then have discipline in every area of your life. You just have to apply it to other areas. But, like, bro, I'm so thirsty. So thirsty. Oh, my back just cracked. That was great. Instrumental Studios. What's going on, bro? DMT Infinity says, I was walking yesterday and had an epiphany. Well, I forgot that I had traveling downloaded to this phone. Didn't even have it in a playlist, and it just randomly started. Oh, bro, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, I did give that. Send that to you. Oh, man. I'm gonna have to go soon. Cause shit, it's gonna be dark soon. Anyone got any final questions before I leave? I was supposed to make a video while I was out here. And I might still make a video when I'm done with the stream if I still got enough daylight to do it. I mean, I could make it in the dark. It really wouldn't matter. DMT Infinity says, yeah, 4 different versions, and your ass is still trying to perfect an already perfect song. I know, bro. I know. That's like my biggest flaw. As I look at it and I'm like, I listen to it and I'm like, yo, that shit sounds great. But if I just make the bass a little like this, and if I just take that one instrument and then put it a little on the top of the headphones, and then take that other instrument and put it in like a 3D room, so then I could put it back a little bit, and I don't know, I just be thinking of all this extra shit because I know I can make it extra, but like, I don't know. Eventually I'm just gonna have to release it whether I like it or not, so it's not gonna matter. But Instrumental Studio says, one question. Would you be interested in making a review video of my game on Steam if you have a PC? That is it. Game? Like, what do you mean? You made your own game? But probably not right now, though. But like, shit, in the future, I might be down to do reviews and shit. Like, I feel like, I'd just kind of be down to try really anything. If the thing works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But like, it's just a matter of me having time to try it, because I don't like trying things when my time is limited, because then I have to half-ass it. Like, that's why I don't really like messaging people just because they message me. It's like, sometimes they might not get a message from me for a while, because if I messaged them when they messaged me, they would get a fake response, like a half-assed fake response, because I'm trying to do it fast, so maybe I wouldn't actually read everything they said, so maybe then I wouldn't, so like, I like to make sure I give everything the attention it deserves. So like, if I was to start doing reviews now, I would just kind of probably half-ass it, and I would want to actually have the time to be like, no, this is what my focus is on, doing this review, like, where I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm just thinking about, what do I think about this one thing? But DMT Infinity says, Mark dreams and Tool collaborations be like, we'll have this song done in 25 years, but it's gonna be a banger. Fucking right it will. But yeah. Instrumental Studios. How long have you been watching my channel, bro? Bro said Mark Cubensis. How long have you been watching the channel? Because, like, only people that have been watching for a while would even know what that meant. Like, before I came up with the idea to just change the last name, because like my original channel got deleted, so I wanted to change the name a little bit of the next channel, of the channel I started after that, you know, because Cubensis has so much attached to it already that might not be good with the algorithm, and it didn't fucking matter anyways, because now I bet Mark Dreams is shadow banned by the algorithm, but like it doesn't really matter. Instrumental Studios, I appreciate you, bro. Says I loved your Blue Lotus extraction videos and stuff. Fuck yeah. Yeah, because back then, when I was just getting into all the Lotus and the extracts, and, you know, one of my favorite Lotus extracts is one that I have to make. Because you know how, like, the Lotus flowers have those yellow stems, those yellow, like, flower stem petal things inside of the blue flower? Well, I would get ounces of just that yellow stem part, or that yellow flower part from the flower, and then I would make like an extract with it, like very similar to the way you make cannabis extracts. Either run it through butane, through frozen, or frozen isopropyl alcohol, or like anything like that to extract it, and then you evaporate the butane away or the alcohol away, and you're left with a dabbable Lotus extract. That shit is awesome, bro. Like I used to love just to dab in that. And like you can do the same thing with just the blue flower petals of Blue Lotus. So then you kind of get like a bluish tinted extract, just like you get like a yellow goldish tinted extract when you do it with the yellow stem part things. But that's kind of what I was talking about earlier when I was just rambling on, where it's like, like for me, this has just been an actual journey that I've been working on. And like at that time, that's what I was learning. So of course, that's what my videos were about. Like they were about me. I was learning, I was making all these extracts and messing with all these herbs, and so then that's what I was talking about. But that was just what I was doing in my real life, because I was just trying to learn. That's when I learned that there's a motherwort patch that grows down there. Just some wild motherwort, and like motherwort, lotus, the daggers, like wild dagger, clip dagger, Scaletium totorsum, which is canna. When I was first trying all these things, and I was like going on plant dietas with these things, and that's all I wanted to talk about. And it's so weird, because like the place that I'm at in my life now, I don't find myself talking about psychedelics as much or plants as much. It's just my life now. Like, I use Blue Lotus all the time. I just don't really talk about it. I smoke the cannabinoids all the time, and I talked about it today in the live stream. But like, the majority of the time, I'm not just going to make a video about how I've been smoking cannabinoids and this is what I do. And I don't know. I mean, I could make a video about it. I just don't really get inspired to make videos as much as I used to. Mainly because, like, I kind of have this thing where I believe in quality over quantity. But I believe that if you work on quality over a long period of time, you can have a quantity of a lot of quality. So, like, yeah. So, like, that's kind of why on these live streams, I'll just start rambling or talking, and, like, I don't know. Some of these things, it's like I would make a video about it, but I feel like if I went to make a video about it, I would just probably be like, never mind. Solar Power African Vegan. Yeah, you're a little late. I'm just trying to, I'll have to go eventually because it's gonna get dark soon. I wish the fucking sun didn't go down so early. Because now that it's fall, the sun goes down. It's 6 o'clock. We're like, just a month ago, the sun was going down like 7:30. Like, DMT Infinity says, question. Hold on. UL, what's going on, bro? UL Adamus says, Mark Dreams, have you been doing sparring or have you been having any kidney issues? What do you mean by, have you been doing sparring or sparing or... I don't know what you mean. Or have you been having any kidney issues? I don't have kidney issues. I do drink a lot of liquid though. Like, I drink a shit ton of liquid every day. So like, I know that just helps with the kidneys. The only time I have kidney issues is if I'm making my kidneys work harder than they need to work. So like, let's say I tripped a little too hard for 2 weeks straight, and I was doing too many herbs that week, not drinking enough liquid. You you might feel like, well, I need to drink some liquid. I love cranberry juice, so like if I ever had issues like that, I would just drink cranberry juice. But DMT Infinity says, question, what is your favorite band or song to trip to? And no Mark Dreams music don't count. What's my favorite thing to trip to? I have a trip playlist that has a bunch of like psychedelic type music in it, and like I usually will listen to something in that playlist. And it should be open on this channel. Like, you should be able to go to my playlist and see there's a trip playlist, and like a lot of songs in there. Now I can't think of all the artists off the top of my head because there's so many in there, but Spangle, I think the other dude's name is Ott or Oat or Ott or something like that. There's another group, the Black something, I don't remember, but like there's just a bunch of different psychedelic groups and psychedelic songs and playlists in there. DMK Finish says, UL Adamus, is there a reason you want to know? Like, no, I was kind of confused about the question too. I don't know if yeah. Hopefully it just says something, let me know. Cryo, what's going on, bro? Says, what's the main lesson? What did the psychedelics teach you? Holy shit, that's such a simple question, but such a loaded question, right? Like, because that's it's a lot, but the basic of it is, it's like, you know how like you're born as a human, and then let's say we live to be 105. If that human that lived to be 105 never used psychedelics, they would still have learned a lot of things in life and a lot of lessons and a lot of things. Psychedelics taught me that, but I'm only 30. So like, the thing that I feel like someone would have at 105 if they never used psychedelics. They just lived a full life. And they learned a lot of lessons, went through some pain, learned from that pain, whatever. It's like they would have wisdom and knowledge. I feel like it's been able to, because it's an experience, like it's that you can go on the psychedelic experience. And when you go through experience, you will gain wisdom as long as you learn the lesson of the experience. So, like, psychedelics taught me so much, though. Like, it's a hard thing because that dude that's 105, he learned so much that he wouldn't just be able to tell you everything he learned from life in, like, one conversation. But psychedelics taught me that, like, it taught me that life is gonna be painful. Like, like, I was smoking DMT. That's how I started my psychedelic, like, experience. So, smoking DMT, it's really hard to deal with. So then I had to learn certain lessons to be able to just deal with it, work on my mind, learning how to meditate, learning all these things because the DMT experience is a stressful, hard experience to go through. But in my sober day-to-day life, I've found out that life is a stressful, hard thing to go through. And, like, there's a reflection. Like, the psychedelic experience is just reflecting life, and life is just reflecting the psychedelic experience because they're one thing. They're an experience. You're a human being that's on an experience. You were born into a body, and then, you came out of your mom, and then there's this whole thing you're going through. The psychedelic experience put me through a whole different thing that I was going through, on top of already going through life. So, like, then 3 years ago, when I got my heart broken and I ended up single, it's like, the psychedelics taught me something. Like, they helped me deal with that. They also helped me not feel alone. Because you realize that we're all one. We realize that, like, it's this whole thing. So, like there's entities inside of DMT, or inside of the ayahuasca, or inside of the mushroom trip. There are entities, beings, teachers. Like, there's entities in there that can teach you things that are kind of different than just if you just did the psychedelic and didn't see the entities. If you took the psychedelic, like LSD, you don't really see entities on LSD. But LSD teaches you a different thing than DMT. Like, LSD helped me rearrange my mind better. DMT helped me see that there's much more to life than just the physical, right? Like, and it helped me, like, kind of accept that, learning how to let go. So then it's like, that's why I've been able to just grow kind of the way I've been growing. Like, I made a video a while ago, like a short video, saying, like, every time I come on here to make a video, it's like I'm a slightly different version of myself. And I was like, well, that's intentional. But that's only possible because I learned that from DMT. Learning how to let go of who you think you are. Like, when the DMT breakthrough really hits, and it hits you, you're either going to scream and cry and fight it, or you're going to let go to it and accept it and just let it take you. Let it destroy what you thought you were. You thought you were a human. You thought you were this. You thought you had life down like you knew. But there's so much that we don't know. And that's okay. Like, there's so much I don't know right now. And that's okay. I don't know where my journey is going to go. I know where I want to go. I know what I want to do with life. Right? But I could die before that even happens. That's life. And, like, DMT kind of helped me just be like, that's okay. Like, it's not about accomplishing your dreams. It's not about getting the thing you want. It's about the journey. It's not about getting the trip you want. It's about the journey. Like, can you find a way to enjoy that psychedelic journey? Can you find a way to enjoy the life journey, the journey of life? Right? Like, psychedelics just kind of help me see that this is an experience that I'm going through. And I can kick and scream and fight it. Or I can just go through it and find a way to grow from it and learn from it, because it's just an experience. DMT, like a DMT breakthrough, everyone thinks it's so bad, but no, it's just an experience. It's just like everyone thinks life is so bad because they're not rich, or they're not living the life they want, or they don't, let's say they're single, and like, who cares, bro? I'm single too. But to me, it's beautiful. To other people, it's painful. Like, it's a perspective thing. And like, no matter where we are, whether we're on Earth, or we're in the light dimension in DMT space, or if we end up on an alien planet somewhere, we're still just us going through some experience. You know, I went through a breakup, and the breakup, now that I look back, that was just as beautiful as the relationship itself. The relationship itself was absolutely beautiful. Like, it was beautiful, falling in love, doing this thing. Like, love is beautiful. But it's funny, I was gonna say, getting your heart broken is also beautiful. Like, that's something I learned from psychedelics in a sense, where it's like, people are like, oh, a bad trip. The bad trip is just as beautiful as the good trip. It's just your perspective isn't that. Like, you know, so many people don't share that perspective. But you can change your perspective. Like, Solar Power African Vegan says, that's one hell of a question answered. Fuck yeah. And obviously what's funny is I could go on for an hour about that thing, because the lessons just piled so, like, on top of each other, when there's so much lessons you've gotten from the psychedelic. At some point you realize that you can't explain it all. I've made so many videos, but I still haven't explained it all because I can't. But what we can do that's better than explaining it to people is embodying it. Like, my daughter says this to me all the time, but like, she's like, you are a walking, talking psychedelic, right? Like, and I know, like, I get that. Like, I don't know, somebody could have an ego death on accident just by hanging out with me too much. Like, I don't know. But I think that's better. Like, that's a better way to explain it. Like, I'm not like, oh, psychedelics are real to me. No, it's so real that it changed me literally to the point where other people can see it. Like, there's just so much shit to it that, like, yeah. And it's so deep and so vast and so whatever, that it's something that I can work on for the rest of my life. It's something that I'll continuously learning from for the rest of my life. Like, there's new things that I've learned, that I keep learning from psychedelics, even though I've already learned so much. And like, I just want to apply these things, you know, like, I just, you know, because that old saying that knowledge is power, where I heard this other dude say, no, used knowledge is power. And like, I get it. Oh shit. DMT Infinity says, Buddhism is certainly worth getting into if you see life as suffering. It's part of their philosophy. It's very complicated, but it is, and simultaneously, goddamn. Ooh. But yeah, I've researched a lot about Buddhism as well. I feel like I've applied so much of these things that I've learned from, like I've learned from the psychedelics, but I've also learned from Buddhism, or like, it's crazy that like all of this knowledge can just be applied because we're all just human. So like, but I agree with Buddha on that, about how life is suffering, and I get it. Like, and like, that's why I'm able to just be like, I'm so okay with that. Like, I'm so okay with suffering. Like, because I feel like it's like we can build relationships with things. So like, I have a good relationship with my pain, with my suffering. You know, I now know how to transmute my pain into beauty, or into energy, or into health, right? Getting myself in shape, healing, like motivation. Like, you can use pain as a way where like you're just fucking angry, so you're just doing more push-ups. You're just fucking angry, so you're making more music, or you're writing in your book 2 hours a day when you used to only write in your book 30 minutes a day. Like, all this shit is just, we're just beings of energy, and everything we go through is just energy. So it's like, Instrumental Studio says, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? I am 30 years old. I turned 30 this past December. So like December, so I'll be 31 this December. But Solar Power African Vegan says, a labyrinth of information. I agree. DMT, well, I feel like a lot of psychedelics, whatever, like, have the ability to access the Akashic records. And I swear to God, that shit's real. Right? Like, a lot of people, like, kind of joke about it because they're like, oh, the Akashic records, it's like this conspiracy theory. But no, that shit's real. Like, it's like a thing where everything that happens in the universe is documented. Like, because everything is information. Like, I just seen a bird fly. You guys didn't see it, but I seen it. And if I didn't see it, God's seen it. Like, it's already recorded. Like, it's still in the Akashic records. Like, I don't know, a thing where everything. That's why I think, like, a lot of times on psychedelics, you can access a state where it's like, somehow you know that you know everything at that point. Like, at that state, that, like, Godhead. It's like you see and know everything. And I mean everything. But then when you come back from the trip, all you can say is that you were in a place where you knew everything, and then when you are now not in that place, you damn sure do not know everything, right? You can only bring back like a 0.001% of that everything. DMT Infinity says, it's not that it's documented, it's that it always has been and always will be. Like, exactly. Because all of time is happening at the same time. So, like, that's why it's like, years ago, I could feel the man that I am today. Like, I could feel it. Like, that's why I've been going towards the thing I'm going towards. Because I can feel it. It's like, I can feel the future. I know that sounds fucking crazy, but like, no, I'm just serious. Like, Well, I'm gonna get up out of here because it's actually getting dark. So I'm heading back home. But I appreciate y'all for joining me, for being here with me. And I hope y'all have an awesome night.